Welcome back. Today I'm going to be brewing this Festival Summer Glory Golden Ale. I've done a couple of these festival kits before. They've both been excellent. The Razorback and the Golden Stag are really excellent kits, these. Sort of premium beer kits. You get everything in the box that you need. So it should be just a case of straightforward brew, putting the malt extract into the fermenter, some hot water. I think you get some dry hops in the box. Let's have a look what we get in here. You normally get everything you need in these. So what have we got here? Dried elderflowers. Okay, so that's something I was not expecting to be in the box. I've never used dried elderflowers in a brew before. I think it should come with some hops as well. Some yeast, 10 grams of beer yeast, best of bitter. Some priming sugar, the correct weight weighed out, which is really handy actually, so you haven't got to mess about with that. You can just batch prime it with this amount of sugar, I haven't got to use the calculators. There's 25 grams of hop pellets. Doesn't say what they are, but does it say on the box? Oh, Crystal and Cascade hop pellets. Sounds interesting. So, right, what else have we got in here? 500 grams of dextrose. Alright, so that's obviously to bump up the alcohol, the ABV in the beer. So along with the dextrose, we've got 2 pouches of what it just says elderflower golden ale, 1.5 kilo pouches. So we've got 3 kilos of malt extract, 500 grams of dextrose. So what's that going to bring us up to? 5% ABV. Alright, so fairly strong summer ale, but you know, it's all good. It says it's fairly bitter on the box. I was expecting there to be more dried hops and actually no dried elderflowers, so that's quite a surprise to me. I wasn't expecting that to be in the box, but who knows. These festival kits are always good, so I'm going to keep my faith in this, do it as per the instructions and see how it turns out. I'm sure it would be great. The only additions to the kit, I'm going to be using tap water for this. I've already drawn off 25 litres of water into another sterilised bucket, and I've added a Camden tablet to that, 1 crushed Camden tablet. So these will remove the chlorine that is in the tap water from the water. You don't really want chlorine going into your brew water, as it will create a funny, weird taste in your beer, a bit like TCP. So you need to remove that from your tap water if you're using tap water, and you just simply have a Camden tablet to do that. I'll also be using this Harris purebrew. This is a 2-part thing, so there's some tablets in here and some yeast nutrient. So it's a teaspoon of yeast nutrient and 1 of the crushed tablets. Now I'm not sure what the tablets are. I don't think they are the same as the Camden tablets. And certainly looking at the ingredients, it doesn't appear that they are the same thing. So that's why I'm sticking with the Camden and the pure brew. So it tells you that you need a bucket. Okay, so I'm going to be using my fermenter, an airlock, a hydrometer, a siphon tube, a mixing paddle and a thermometer. So really basic equipment required to make this kit. The additional equipment, non-essential, is a siphon sediment trap. So in some of these boxes, and I notice I haven't got one in here, you get a little filter thing that goes over your siphon tube when there's a lot of dry hops. So if you sprinkle the dry hops in loose, obviously it ends up in the bottom of your fermenter, so when you siphon it out you need to kind of filter that sludge out. So you can use a siphon sediment trap, I'm guessing that's what it means. A brewing belt or heat pad, well I won't be needing that. It's perfect conditions this time of year. It's now April, and in the area where my fermenter will be, it will be between about 19 and 20 degrees, and it's pretty consistent, so I won't be needing that. And that's it really. So basically I've just got to sterilise my fermentation vessel, my bucket, Stand the 2 malt pouches in hot water for 5 minutes, so kind of standard practice there. Chuck it in the fermenter, boil 3 litres of water, add that, add the dextrose, top it up with water, Bob's your uncle. Alright, so let's get going. So I've got my 2 pouches of malt extract standing in hot water. They've been in there for a couple of minutes. I've got 3 litres of water coming to the boil over here, which I need to add to my fermenter. I've got a nice sanitised fermenter here, so I've just used some no rinse foaming Chem-Sam type stuff in there, which has been swilled around, all nicely clean and sanitised. Got a jug over here with my other bit, so everything that's going to come in contact with my brew, either directly or indirectly, has been sanitised. So even the scissors that I'll use to open the pouches have been sanitised as well. And again, I'll use those to open the yeast packet and everything else. So everything that's going to actually go in my brew or touch anything that's going in my brew is being sanitised. Okay, so just going to put these into my fermenter. I'm a little bit paranoid about sterilising everything, but you know, it's better to be safe than sorry. It's easy to just sterilise everything. I've just dipped the top of the bag in there. I'm using sterilised scissors. This is going to be tipped into my fermenter. I've got 2 of these to go. It's nice and runny because it's been in the boiling hot water, but even still, once I've got out as much as I can, I'm going to run some hot water around these, just to make sure we've got everything out of the pouches. Just added my 3 litres of hot water, so the 2 pouches of malt extract are in here, 3 litres of hot water, and now I've got this 500 grams of dextrose, so I'm going to just add that in, dissolve it into the mixture, and top up with hot water. It's really important before you add your cold water just to make sure you've got everything nice and stirred in. Make sure it's not stuck to the bottom, all that sugar's dissolved into the liquid. So everything's nicely stirred in the bottom there. I'm now just dropping in the tap water treated with Camden tablet, so basically my brewing water, dropping it in just from my spare barrel there into my fermentation barrel. So dropping it in like this just helps to oxygenate the wort, so you want to get as much oxygen in there as possible just to give the yeast a good start, because that's what it needs. So it's a good way just of doing that, killing 2 birds with 1 stone really. So just while I'm dropping the water in here, I'm going to add the Harris purebrew. So it's 1 of these tablets and a teaspoon of the powder. So you just crush the tablet between 2 spoons, of course, which are being sterilised. And that just goes in there. And you also get a packet of this dubious looking stuff and a spoon, and it's just 1 teaspoon of this there as well. That's it. We're back. So we topped up to 23 litres with cold water, so that's brought the temperature down to about 22 degrees. It says in the instructions that it should be below 25 degrees before pitching the yeast, so we're certainly within that band. Strangely now we have to add the contents of the elderflower, dried elderflowers. So I'm just going to cut this open again with my sterilised scissors, add this to fermentation vessel. Okay, I think I've done this in the wrong order, but I don't think it matters too much. I've also got to pitch my yeast, which I've got to do. So I'm going to stir this in, then add my yeast. So just going to add my yeast, 10 grams of beer yeast. So I'm just going to sprinkle that in. I'm going to give it a good stir and then add the rest. Taking a sample, my hydrometer is telling me it's about 150. So it'd be interesting to see where this one finishes up. It's now in its final resting place, or at least for the next few days. I've got my blow-off tube attached there, so I generally opt for that rather than an airlock because it's a lot easier to use, and these festival kits do get a bit lively at the start normally, so just safeguard yourself from cleaning out an airlock all the time. So that's going to sit there for now 5 days. The instructions say that after 5 days to add the hop pellets. Now ordinarily I would probably leave this for about 10 days before dry hopping, and then dry hop for a couple of days before bottling. But because I've used the elderflower, dried elderflowers, and I've put those in from the start, I don't know how that's going to affect the beer if they're in there for too long. So I'm going to follow the instructions verbatim in this case. So I'm going to leave it for 5 days. I'm going to dry hop, and it says to let it sit for another 5 days. So it's going to be 10 days in total fermentation. And then I'm going to bottle. So in 5 days time I'll add the hops. Further 5 days time I'll be bottling. So it shouldn't be too long before I'm actually drinking this beer. Alright, well, we'll check in a bit later on. On day 5, so I'm just going to add the hop pellets. It doesn't actually say what hop pellets these are. Okay, well, that's the dried elderflowers you can see on the top. It's a bit manky. It says not to stir these pellets in, so I hope they find their way down into the liquid. I might give it a little swirl up once they're in there. So in they go. Just dropping them in. I'm not going to bother putting them in a bag. When I get it out of here, I'll put a little filter bag over the end of my pipe, siphon pipe. So I'm going to put the top on, give that a little swirl around, and leave it for another 5 days. Right, well, we're back with the Festival Summer Glory Ale. So I approached this with some trepidation. It caught me out a little bit, so I was not expecting to see a bag of elderflowers in the box. So I really don't know what to expect with this beer. It is a festival kit, and I have complete confidence in those kits because all the ones I've done have been absolutely fantastic. They are the gold standard of kit, so I'm confident this is going to be a great beer. I've no idea how it's going to look or taste. This is genuinely the first bottle that I'm trying. It's been in the bottle for now be 4 weeks. 4 weeks tomorrow actually, so just short of 4 weeks. It turned out at 5%, so it's not a weak beer. It's cleared nicely in the bottle, so it looks good. Let's hope it tastes as good as it looks. So, alright, nice little bit of carbonation there. Okay. So you can definitely smell something. I'm guessing that's the elderflowers. Very floral. It's a nice golden colour. It's pretty clear. It's quite well carbonated, if not a little bit too carbonated, I'd say. But there you go. You can't have everything. First thing I noticed is there's a bit of debris in there, although I did use a little filter bag on the end of my siphon tube. Still got a bit of debris in there, so not really quite sure how that got through, but never mind, I don't care. It's pretty fizzy, that's the first thing as well I noticed. It's lovely golden colour. And it's definitely got a fruity aroma. Almost peachy. Yeah, peachy is definitely coming through. It smells really nice actually. Let's go in for a sip. Oh, that's really nice. That is really nice. That is much better than I was expecting. I was a bit nervous, as I say, about using the elderflowers. It doesn't taste strongly. I wouldn't, if I didn't know I had elderflowers in there, I wouldn't never be able to have placed that. It's definitely got a fruity smell. As I say, very peachy. Doesn't taste peachy, but it's very nice. It's not too bitter. It's very rounded. It's not too malty, but a little bit. It's got a nice sort of malty background. It's not overly hopped. There's only 25 grams, I think, dry hops gone in this. But it is a delightful summer beer. It's, you know, it's not too in your face like some of the IPAs. It's going to be a nice sort of supping beer when the sun eventually does come out in our beautiful British summertime. But that is a very nice beer. I would highly recommend it. And I've got 39 bottles left in the shed, of which are going to get drunk pretty quickly, I think, and I'm going to dish a few out, and I will definitely get another one of those on for the summer. That's a really nice, delightful drink, and I can see myself sitting out in the garden with a few of those happy days. Again, festival kit, come up trumps, what more can I say? If you're looking for a nice summer drink, give it a go. Cheers, guys.